Hello friends, I firmly believe that each and every uke player in the world should be gifted a bassist at birth to practice along with, and today I'm here to give you that gift. But first give me 5 minutes of your time to make playing jazz chords easy. We could spend an entire lifetime trying to memorize every single shape on the fingerboard and what it might be called depending on the context that we're in, and it still wouldn't really matter, because what matters in music is how something sounds. And the jazz guitarist Joe Pass famously taught that there were only 3 basic sounds in music: major, minor, and dominant. So whether you're playing a C major 7 sharp 11 or you're playing an F7 flat 9 flat 13, it's going to fall into one of these 3 basic camps. It's just going to be a different shade on top of that sound. And today we're going to look at the dominant sound and what makes it so unique, and how we can stop thinking about just a million different chord shapes and understand what's important about the chord, the foundation that gives it the sound that it has. The great thing about the dominant sound is it's all derived from one basic chord, the diminished 7th chord. We play this on our 2nd fret, 2-3, 2-3. You've probably played this before. You probably know that you can slide it up and down the instrument like this. But what gives it that sound of needing to resolve, of being unstable? And it's really 2 smaller things within the chord, which makes it so unique. And that's what's happening on the G and C strings, as well as on the E and A strings. And note, those are the same exact shapes, right? These are our leading tones within a chord. This is the tritone that says, please don't stay here, resolve me somewhere else. Now we need to choose where to resolve it so we can explore these different colors. And this diminished chord can be resolved up a half step or 1 fret from any note in here. So I can resolve from here to here, or here to here, or here to here, or here to here. It doesn't matter, but we're going to choose the G string here. So we're going to resolve to a B flat. So I'm going to play my diminished chord, and then I'm going to play a B flat. If you're like me, I'm going to play a B flat 6 with an open G on my high G string. So we're going to play a diminished chord to here, and now we can look at all the different flavors. We already said that the notes on the G and C string are very important, right? Those are our leading tones. Just those alone give us the sound of dominant to major. So if we want to play with that, we can only really play with the notes on our E and our A strings. And there's 4 notes on each string that we can experiment with. So if we take the E string, we're going to move this note down 1 fret on the E string. That shape should look familiar, right? That's an F7th chord, and that just so happens to be our dominant chord in the key of B flat. Back to that diminished chord. What if we move this up by 1 fret? So we have 2, 3, 3, 3. That still has that sound of needing to go somewhere. What if we play B flat after it? Oh, it's still the same tension, resolution. We could even go up 1 more. If we wanted to go to the 4th fret, it would sound like this. Really tense, but still begs us to resolve here. Now we can also take the notes on the A string and play around with them. It's the same idea. We can go from our diminished chord, we can go down 1 note. That should look familiar. Looks like a B7th to me. So we can play that, or we can go up. We can go to the 4th fret. Does that want to resolve to B flat? It does. Very different sound though. What about the 5th fret here? So we have our diminished chord and we're up on the 5th fret, resolving down here. So we have all these options of, they're all serving the same exact purpose for us, but in a slightly different way. Now we can of course mix these up as well. We can change the notes on both the E string and the A string. We play maybe, or perhaps we could go. There are not endless possibilities, but what we're thinking about is respecting the tritone, keeping that tension here, and playing around with what the other note we're moving is. So let's put this in a chord progression, and then we'll add the bass along with it so you can hear how this sounds. So we'll do a simple progression. We'll do C minor 7th, then our dominant sound, we'll play the diminished here right now, and then B flat up to G 7th, and that just loops around. So we have C minor 7th, then we can try a different dominant sound to B flat. So we're just going to replace that 2nd chord each time. One more time. C minor 7th, our diminished chord, to B flat. Now let's try this along with a bass, because that's when you can really hear these different shades of harmony on top of the initial chord. Let's take our chord progression and just try some of these different dominant sounds over top. Start out with our diminished chords. We'll go C minor 7th, diminished. This time let's try an F. Different sound, right? But not too far off. Let's move on up the E string a little bit. Try this one. Let's restart ourselves with that diminished chord. Let's go down to that other note now. Oh, that's different. Let's go back to the diminished chord. Try another one. Moving up the A string. One last one. Now you try whatever the heck you want. It's up to you. I'm just gonna play. If you enjoy these kinds of lessons, join me over on the Tim Mann's Magic Ukulele Club, where we have an extended version of this video going over the music theory or the why all of this works, as well as putting these concepts to use every single week over top of different jazz standards. We also have backing tracks to play along with, so you can always have your own bass player. I'll see you over there.